Ever since I was a kid, I was obsessed with the idea of Disney crossovers. Like when you throw all the different Disney characters together for shenanigans and hijinks, etc. Particularly within the world of video games. It's why I loved Kingdom Hearts so much. It's why I got into it a lot. But for me, the things I always wanted was, a Mario Party with Disney characters, a Disney kart racing game, a Disney RPG with all the characters as party members, and a Disney fighting game in the vein of Super Smash Bros., which we are almost never going to get. As we are in the middle of a pandemic still, I have had a lot more free time, but I found this game called Disney Heroes Battle Mode, which is almost nothing like the games that I said I wanted. But it does involve characters from all across the Disney pantheon, and they fight things in kind of an RPG style. So I downloaded it, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. Even if I'm being quite honest with myself, I'm not even sure if it's that good of a game, or even much of a game itself. But nevertheless, I have sunk hours upon hours upon hours into this thing. There's a good chance this is my most played game of 2020, and I put over 200 hours into Animal Crossing. First, some background information on this game. It was released in 2018, which means, yes, this is a pretty old game, especially in terms of mobile games and video games. It was essentially to promote Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, which, upon learning that information, a lot of things made sense in this game, which I will touch on later. The premise of the game is pretty simple. You just collect an assortment of your favorite, with an asterisk, Disney characters, and you can put them in combinations of different combinations and have them team up to fight bad guys in this virtual city, I believe, that has been hacked by someone. Yes, there is a story mode in this game. It's not that deep, but there's there. It does have some relatively deep mechanics. There are so many characters. They're classified into 4 different roles, which are damage, control, support, and tank. And they have different abilities that affect that role, and a lot of the game is coming up with different combinations of characters to determine what is the best combo team to use to fight. One of my favorite things about this game is its truly insane character roster. It goes deep. There are some real deep cuts. There are also some questionable inclusions, which we'll touch on later. They're the characters you'd expect, Mickey Mouse, Buzz, Woody, Elsa, so on and so forth. But there are some pretty cool deep cuts too. The Muppets are in this game, which Disney doesn't do anything with the Muppets, so that's a win for me. Miss Piggy just karate chops people. It's pretty awesome. There are live action characters, which are kind of cool. You have Pirates of the Caribbean and Tron, which are like the go-to Disney live action franchises when it comes to these kind of things. There are even characters from TV shows, which I find really cool. You have Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Magic and Spell, even Goliath from Gargoyles. And apparently Kim Possible is going to be added in this game at some point, which I find fun because I'm a 2000s kid. I grew up in the 2000s, so, nostalgia. There are even characters from movies that Disney sometimes refuses to acknowledge, like the one princess from Atlantis and the one pirate lady from Treasure Planet, and even a character like Powerline from a Goofy movie who is ostensibly a minor background cameo character, but here he's fully fledged, which, why not? Even some characters that you don't think would be traditional combat characters get in on the action. One of my favorites is Belle, and she just fights with a giant stick, which I find very charming. And then the Pooh characters are there, which, sometimes creates instances where Eeyore or Pooh are just getting ganged up by characters, but it's fine. It's fine. One of my personal favorites is the Colette from Ratatouille. She just has a knife, and she just uses a knife in battle, which I think we all should aspire to do. That being said, there are some character choices that I question. Again, this is a Wreck-It Ralph 2 promotional tool, at least it started out as, and because of that, there are some weird picks. I mean, I don't begrudge the fact that Fix-It Felix and Jane Lynch are in this game because they are ostensibly the second and the other main characters of the series. But then you have the character Shank that Gal Gadot played in Wreck-It Ralph 2, and I'm not mad that she's in here, but I just, when someone asks your favorite Disney character, no one's gonna say Shank. I think it's even more egregious with the Zootopia characters. Obviously, you have Judy and Nick, who, of course, they're in this game. You also have the one chief of police, which, fine, whatever. But then you have the one guy who was Nick Wilde's partner in the beginning of the movie, and then Yax, the nudist yak from one scene of the movie, who has a weirdly important role in this game. Apparently he's a computer genius. That's it, And The Incredibles 2, which was recent when this game came out, so of course they're going to promote that too. But every incredible character, plus Frozone, plus Syndrome, are playable in this game, which on one hand I do get because they are superheroes. They are Disney's only superhero characters that aren't Marvel. It does seem that developers of this game have kind of shied away from that and have been including a more diverse roster of characters and more characters that you would expect, like I said, Elsa. They just added Sadness from Inside Out. They also added Ian from Onward. And so they definitely are still committed to this game, which 2 years in is pretty fun. You can't always guarantee that with a mobile game, so I'm glad that they are still adding to this game. Obviously, as a free-to-play mobile game, there are in-game purchases, but I have never felt the need to buy a single thing, like, not even once. Not even to get characters. Literally, there was a time where I was just given, like, 5 characters at once. It was absurd. They just kept throwing characters upon characters upon characters, and I'm like, stop it. I'm overwhelmed. But, Aiden, you may ask, I have all these characters, but what can I do with them? And I have an answer for you. Like I said, each character is divided into a class. There are multiple different ways you can upgrade your characters. It's almost an arbitrary amount of depth to give the perception that there is more to do, because... So characters have a color. They start out as white, and they can go from green, green 1, to blue, blue 1, blue 2, purple, etc., etc., etc. And as they upgrade in color, they get more powerful, and you do that by equipping badges that you can acquire in-game or in the in-game market, and, it's self-explanatory. By completing levels, you get these raid tickets that literally just allow you to, like, raid items from each stage without having to play it. So when I'm trying to upgrade a character, I just go into a specific stage and just keep tapping the raid button to get money, to get badges. Like I said, barely a game, but it's okay. You can also add stars to the character, so you unlock a character by getting hero chips. And once you have the character, you can get more hero chips to add a star to the character. So you can have like a 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, and keep adding stars. I think that's more important than the color rank. I don't honestly know. You can also increase their level too. You have both a team level and a character level. And your character level can't be more than your team level. So say I'm team level 65, which I am. All of your characters can go up to level 65, and obviously you want to keep upgrading their levels, because if they're level 1, they're going to just not survive. And you can do that by playing games, or you can just do XP items, which I do. But wait, there's more! Each character obviously has their own special abilities, but not only do they have abilities, these abilities can also be upgraded. Characters get new abilities at every color level, I believe, so like green, blue, purple, and you can add a skill level to these characters. We're using skill points and money. And this being a mobile game, you of course only have a certain amount of skill points that replenish after a certain amount of time. Like I said, there's almost too much depth to this game, and half of it doesn't even matter, it seems like. I honestly get kind of annoyed because I'm trying to have all my characters have consistent levels of their skills, but then I keep unlocking characters, or my character gets upgraded to a next rank and they get a new skill, and I feel compulsed to upgrade that skill so all their skills are consistent. And it's a mess. I still have characters with level 1 skills just because it's a trap that I truly cannot get myself out of. It's almost kind of overwhelming what you can do with these characters, and I get that it's a mobile game and it's meant to, like, kill time. And we haven't even gotten to the part where you actually use the characters. So obviously there's a campaign with a story about something. There's Disney characters, they find trouble and they try to stop this trouble. There's also the Elite campaign, which is just the normal campaign stages but harder. Then there's the Friend campaign, where characters go on missions with their friends. Each character also has 2 friends that they can go on mission with, I guess. Some of these are pretty self-explanatory. Jack is Elastigirl's friend because he is her son. Some of them are just because they're in the same movie in the case of Jax and Finnick. Some of them are kind of arbitrary in the most fun ways. Jessie and Judy Hopps are friends because they're sheriffs, kind of. Sort of. Merida and Robin Hood are friends because they both use bow and arrows. Elsa and Frozone are friends because they both have ice powers. I also learned that Minnie is friends with Miss Piggy, and I want to unlock that friendship just so I can see what kind of interactions I can get, because that just seems hilarious. If that sounds like a lot, it is, and there's more. There are also different ways you can battle with your characters. There is the arena. That's essentially the ranked mode, so you just fight against other players and their teams in attempts to get your rank up and get different prizes. There's the Coliseum, which is essentially the arena, except you have 3 teams of different characters, and you have to fight. It's just essentially best 2 out of 3, so each team fights a different team. There's City Watch and Surge, which are kind of similar in the fact that you take on different zones, and each have different characters, and you have to just fight your way through waves of enemies, essentially, and your characters don't get healed in between fights. And the best part is, each of those things have their own unique currency and their own unique shop, which have different characters and badges. Yes, there's a lot in this game, I told you this. And then there are the team trials, which have red, yellow, and blue teams, and each character is divided into a certain team based on, I don't know, movie, I guess. And you can only use characters from that team, and you have to fight waves of enemies. And then there's the port, which, depending on the day you play, can either fight against enemies who are immune to physical damage, or enemies that are immune to fantastical damage, which is essentially like special attack. And so you have to determine your character lineup based on that. Truly, there is so much in this game, and half of it I haven't even bothered to touch because what I am playing is satisfied enough. The Coliseum, I haven't even, nope. Oh, there are also guilds. I forgot to talk about guilds. Like most mobile online games, there is a clan system where you can join a guild. I don't know what kind of benefits they do. You can check in to get more guild currency to get guild crates. And you can add heroes to the mercenary board, and then you can hire these characters in certain modes of the games to help fight with you. And then there's also Guild War, which I guess involves your guild fighting against other guilds. I honestly haven't touched this mode, but I did get prizes by being associated with the guild that did well, and that's when I got like the 10 different characters. It's a lot, and I am almost positive that some of this was added just to be added to the game. But I guess I can't begrudge a game for having too much stuff. If I don't want to play it, I don't. I fell down a rabbit hole of this game just upgrading my characters by level, rank, color, all that, and it's absurd. Like, I literally just spend like at least 10 minutes sometimes just tapping through the game, just doing my daily stuff, and it's a bit ridiculous, but I'm still playing, so who's the fool? It's me. Oh wait, I haven't even talked about actually playing the game. Like I said, you can make your character line up and then you just go in and fight. And here's the best part. You don't even have to touch the game at this point. I have it set on 2x speed and I've set it on auto so characters can just automatically make their decisions based on AI. And so I can just start a fight and just set it down and let them play. Like I said, it's barely a game, but that's okay. It's the kind of game where you're at work and you just want to fight through some stages, so you just set it up and just set your phone and do your work and then check on it like a minute later. It's perfect. But that's not the fun I have with this game. The fun I have is unlocking the characters and seeing which different kind of characters are available, what kind of characters I unlock, and coming up with different combinations of teams. You can come up with an endless combination of teams. Do you want a team of Disney princesses? You got it. Do you want a team of characters that made exclusively $1 billion at the box office? You can do that. What about characters that didn't do great at the box office? Of course. And it's so much fun. I love coming up with different combinations and just seeing what works and what is horrible and what characters get decimated in the first round. But, of course, I need to put what I feel would be in this game as well, because I have a video. And the thing with Disney is that there are so many characters that it's almost impossible to put them all in. But That's why I'm not a developer. I'm just someone who talks about the game. I definitely think there are some characters that are missing that are questionable or should be addressed. And so here are some characters that I feel should be in this game. Dumbo. He was a summon in Kingdom Hearts. He can shoot water and he can fly and he's an elephant. It's a given. Bambi, also a summon in Kingdom Hearts. In Kingdom Hearts, he just pounced around and gave you items, and I think he can do that in this game. Joy is a character, and she doesn't attack at all. She literally just heals people, so Bambi can do the same thing. He can support. Tinkerbell, also a summon in Kingdom Hearts, although I don't think that she will be in this game because I think she's already included in Peter Pan's attack, so I guess that doesn't really mean she can't be in it, but probably lessens the chances. Ariel. She is probably one of the biggest omissions, especially because Ursula's in this game, and I don't understand why they can't work her in. That she's in the other Disney mobile RPG, Disney Sorcerer Arena, which is strikingly similar to this game, but I have yet to play it. Also, her and Pocahontas are in that, so I don't understand why they can't be in this one. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of exclusivity thing. A lot of other Disney princesses that you don't think would be necessarily in a fighting game are in here. It's Halloween. Let's have the Sanderson sisters in here. We already have a character, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, that are a trio, so why can't we have the Sanderson sisters? They can cast spells, and, you know, you already have the ability titles. You can just be a muck, a muck, a muck. It's all a bunch of hocus pocus. Millennials love hocus pocus. The millennials love their iPhones, so let's get them in this game. I think Mary Poppins would be a very fun character to put in this game. She can just come in on her umbrella and just, like, I don't know, stab people with it. Dipper and Mabel Pines. We already have TV characters, and they could be a duo. Like, we already have duo characters, too, like Nala and Simba, and Sully and Boo, and Mabel can use her grappling hook and just, you know, swing at people. Perry the Platypus. Agent P. He's obvious. He has a Disney Infinity figure. He was in Disney Infinity. Let's make it happen. So like I said, there is a lot of still untapped potential for this game, and I think with a vast library of characters like Disney has, it's almost going to be impossible to satisfy everyone, but I just think that, you know, when we have characters like Yax and Finnick, it's strange that we don't have characters like Dumbo or Ariel. This video has truly just been me rambling about some mobile game for the good 30 minutes, and that's okay. I say you should play Disney Heroes Battle Mode if you like Disney, like mobile games, or just need something to waste time while the world around us ends as we know it. And I am considering playing the Disney Sorcerers Arena because it looks similar but also has a different art style, and I heard plays differently, but I also too obsessed with this game to really find the time to play another one. There's also a Looney Tunes RPG in a similar style that I find very fun because I think the Looney Tunes are great and underrated, but I also don't know if I have the time to commit to that one. But if you made it to the end of this video, I just want to say thank you, and also play Disney Hero Battle Mode, because in what other game can you have Kevin Flynn from Tron team up with Rapunzel and Eeyore to fight a corrupted version of Tia Dalma from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?